Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of 3 teenagers. I believe that your body does want to and is capable of rebuilding itself. Regardless of what chronic disease you may have, I'm here for you to answer your questions, bring you innovative and cutting-edge technologies and health solutions to empower you and your ability to reach your optimal state of health. Today, my guest will be talking about the importance of collagen to the physical body. And I want to stress the importance of our physical health for our mental and spiritual health, whether it's overcoming anxiety, depression, gaining the courage to move forward and becoming your best self. You need that strong physical foundation of health in order to gain the willpower to make the bigger changes in life. And if you're new to following me, I specialize in helping you get there. You can find all of my health articles and protocols at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. I dive into an array of health conditions, their causes and symptoms, and how to address them naturally. I can help you detox naturally, improve your physical strength, lose weight for good, anti-age naturally, and just become your best self. I've spent thousands of dollars and hours of my time biohacking different supplements and diets that don't work, so you don't have to. If you have any health issues you need my help with, you can email me directly through the website. I personally read every single one. During this time of uncertainty, we need to keep our immune system strong, cut down on the fear, keep our mental health strong so that we don't get sick. And whether it's from the current threat we're all facing or just the typical flu season or any virus or bacteria that we may come in contact with. So saying that, I want to make sure you're all aware of my new immune bundle, which are my top 3 supplements that I will never be without: the Accelerated Silver, the Acceleradine Iodine, and something called My Vital C. It is not vitamin C, it's a carbon 60. All 3 supplements devitalize viruses, bacteria, and other foreign pathogens. So when you take all 3 of them together, your immune system is rock solid. They'll also help anti-age you, increase circulation, decrease inflammation throughout the body, improve nerve damage, and make you look younger and feel younger. You'll also see an improvement in metabolism and your thyroid health and improve your risk of all metabolic diseases. So now to the good stuff. Carol Fawcett has owned her own business in the health and wellness industry for over 20 years. She's worked with top doctors, healthcare practitioners, and longevity researchers in the field of biofeedback and anti-aging supplements, and is here to talk to us today about liquid collagen. I have been working with Carol for, my gosh, it's been 10 plus years. Love this woman to death. Welcome, Carol. How are you? Are you there, Carol?
Yes. Okay. Hi there.
Thank you for joining us today. And I want to start, as we're going to get into the collagen, but I want to start with your journey and your own health issues and how that led you into the big realm of collagen.
Yes, I'd love to share. It's so good to see you, and thank you for having me. So I think, like you and like probably a lot of your listeners and a lot of people in the health and wellness industry, I got started because of my own health issues. And this was over 20 years ago. After my son was born 33 years ago, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune condition, and thyroid disease. So what they did back then was they really knew nothing about it. So they radiated my thyroid, and I no longer have a functioning thyroid. So my struggle over the years has been with my immune system, with my weight, with my adrenals, because those are connected to the thyroid. And how I discovered collagen in 2012 was pretty amazing. For the year before, I had had incredible discomfort in my hands, in both hands between the area where the index finger and the thumb is, in both hands. It was on a scale of 1 to 10, my discomfort was a 10. If I dropped something, I could hardly pick it up. If I couldn't hold my late husband's hand, it was awful. I had tried laser therapy, acupuncture, lotions, potions, supplements, creams. Nothing worked. And I had been in total agony for a year. And I'm also a writer, so it really impacted my quality of life. And I was starting to get depressed. And I know listeners can probably relate to that. When you're not feeling well, when you have something that's gone wrong in your body and nobody can help you, it starts to affect your mental health. So long story short, my husband found this product, my late husband, and it was a collagen product. And I knew a little bit about collagen at the time. This is also a collagen matrix with HA, or hyaluronic acid, and I knew nothing about that. I'd never even heard of the word. So I didn't really do a lot of research. I just kind of had an intuition that this would help me. So I started taking it, and within 3 weeks, the discomfort in my hands went from a 10 plus down to a 2. It was like I woke up one morning and I was like, it's a miracle. And of course, it wasn't a miracle, because what I learned later, and in my extensive research and working with some of our research doctors in this area with this amazing collagen, learning about it and discovering why it's so effective, it wasn't an overnight miracle. I simply started taking it because it's a liquid, it's more absorbable, and we can talk about that in a bit. But over a 3 weeks period of time, it had built up in my system enough where I noticed a big difference. So I thought, okay, if it did this for my hands, what else can it do? And so I started experimenting. I started taking a little bit more, like a serving and a half. And I had this right ankle that's bothered me my whole life because I have sports injuries. I've sprained it, torn ligaments, broken it. I mean, that's my poor right ankle, right? That takes all the brute of everything. So what happened was, before the collagen, if I walked for a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile, I'd have to limp home, elevate, and ice my ankle. In my mid-40s, occasionally when we traveled and there was a lot of activity, I'd have to use a cane. And I felt so embarrassed that, I'm in the health business and here I'm having to use a cane in my mid-40s because of my ankle. Long story short, after another couple months on the collagen, the ankle cleared up. I can walk 2 to 3 miles a day, no inflammation, no need to ice, no limping. It's totally changed my life.
Wow.
So that's kind of how I got into it.
It's amazing. I mean, you mentioned that you were a little embarrassed because you're in the health industry and you're not just 100%, right? But I have now uncovered that every single one in the health industry, their ailments are gifts. They're gifts to find these solutions and bring them out to their listeners or their clients or whatever. And every single issue that I've had, there's been a solution. And then God has given me multiple people within weeks or months of that I have then needed to help and say, oh my gosh, you need to try this. This is why I had to go through it, to learn about something new that can help. And my story with the collagen, which, I was taking it for a couple of years before this happened, but I was in a car accident in 2015. And if anyone wants to read my story, it is on the website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com. But I did, and this was before I knew anything about the ketogenic diet and a lot of other supplements. So I was pretty good with my diet, but I wasn't, perfect. And I was in a car accident, rear-ended at 50 miles an hour. My head hit the steering wheel, and in my eye, was down to the bone. I had 4 layers of stitches right in my eyelid. And it was interesting because my husband and my attorney were so worried because here I am in the health and beauty industry and my face is messed up. And you can see the before and after pictures. So I go and I get all stitched up. Of course, the doctor gives me an antibiotic, but I don't take it. I apply my accelerated silver and the collagen topically and internally, and I double up on the dosage. And within 10 days, you can barely see the scar. And today, I look at my face every single day. I don't see a scar. It's not something I focus on. I don't get self-conscious about it because it's not there, and I'm not putting makeup on it or anything. And so it's fantastic, and it just helped my body heal so much faster with the inflammation and everything else that was going on. And so I am a true believer. I take it every single day. I never go without it. If I forget it on a trip for some reason, I kind of freak out because I can tell a difference. But let's go back, because collagen is it's blown up. People are talking about bone broth and all these different collagen supplements are out there. And well, why would I spend X amount of dollars when Trader Joe's has a collagen supplement for much cheaper? Do I just need the glucosamine supplement instead of a collagen supplement? So why don't we start with collagen 101?
That sounds great. So what is collagen? Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies, right? It is stronger than steel, believe it or not. It is the structural framework for our entire body, from our head to our toes. And so but collagen in our bodies doesn't just exist by itself. It exists naturally along with hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate. And so basically, collagen is the building blocks of the body. Hyaluronic acid acts like a sponge. So anywhere there is moisture in your body, you're going to find some hyaluronic acid. And chondroitin sulfate is the shock absorbers, and they all work together. So as we age, like when we're 4 to 5 years old, our hyaluronic acid levels decrease by half. I mean, that's pretty severe. And then in our 20s and 30s, our collagen begins to deplete. Our bodies just don't make it as they used to. So how plump and juicy a little baby looks, right? And then as we age, we lose that plumpness and we become more like a prune. We dehydrate from the inside out. And so what happens is we age. When we're not making these natural things, substances, we begin to age. We begin to dehydrate. Our skin gets dry. Our hair can begin to fall out. We can get achy joints. We can have mobility issues. We can get lumpy connective tissues. We can get cellulite. We can turn gray. We get shorter as we age. So there's something called synovial fluid in the body. So and our listeners probably know that our organs get fed by our blood supply, but our joints do not. They get fed by synovial fluid, which is made up of the collagen HA matrix. And so we just dry up from the inside out. So that is why it's super important to supplement with collagen as we get older. And I even have a lot of millennials taking this product because they know they're into prevention, which I really love, And also there have been studies done showing this increases strength and endurance or sports formula in people who are into athletic sports. Love it.
When do you stop producing collagen, or when does it decrease? I mean, sometimes my kids ask me, well, my knees are hurting, Mom, because they've got a sports injury. Should I take the collagen supplement?
I would say yes. Your kids are teenagers. We begin to lose our collagen in our 20s and 30s. But like I said, our HA levels go down when we're 4 or 5 years old. And these are all processes in the body that help our body recover. I had a young man in his late teens who was a marathon runner. He was going to run a race the next day. And in practice the day before, he tripped and fell and sprained his ankle very badly. It was very swollen, inflamed. He was really upset because he thought he was going to have to throw the race or, cancel. And I told him, your mom, because I knew his mom had the collagen. And I said to her, get your son on the collagen, and in the next 24 hours, or basically until he goes to bed, have him drink as much as possible. And she said, how much is safe? I said, it's totally safe. You can take as much as you want. I think he drank a whole bottle. The next day he woke up, his ankle was totally fine. He ran his run. Yeah. So if you give the body the raw ingredients, now keep in mind, I'm not making medical claims. This is nothing that will heal. But if you give the body the right ingredients, you know what can happen, right? The body goes to work.
So let's talk about what collagen can help. I mean, you talked about a lot about hair growth, and I've got a lot of women especially saying, what can I do for my hair, my skin, my wrinkles, of course, the vein part of all of us. And then, you know, going into nerve damage and cartilage and all of the functions of the body. It's just amazing what your body uses collagen for. So I'd really like to go into all of the details of what it is doing in the body and for all the different parts of the body.
I would love to do that. And let me just start with saying why this particular liquid collagen. I think I need to explain how it works differently first than like a regular collagen. So all collagens on the market, except for this particular one, they come from the whole carcass of the animal, which gets ground up. It could be a bovine source, a chicken source, you know, another, said bovine, a pig, and the carcass gets ground up, and there's these large molecular size molecules, or these large molecules called collagen in there, and they call them collagen peptides or collagen protein, and they're put like in a big container. You usually see them in a big powder container, and that is because they've done efficacy studies showing that in order to get any results, you really need at least 20 grams of this collagen peptide, and that would be like 25 capsules. And so that's usually why they have it in a big powder bin with scoops, right? So those are inferior sources of collagen because they are not natural to the human body. It's basically a lower vibration source of collagen as well, because they're grinding up the whole carcasses. Or using the hooves or something like that. So what this company discovered years ago, they actually pioneered oral collagen in this country. They've been the pioneers of this the collagen movement, which is now so huge, like you said. They discovered years ago that the chicken sternal cartilage, the actual cartilage in the chicken sternal, is almost exactly similar to the molecular structure of the human collagen. And so, and it's natural in nature. It's not like they took ground up body parts or whatever and put it in a pill and combined it with these other ingredients. This is actually this cartilage naturally has one ingredient, but with three components: the collagen, the hyaluronic acid, and the chondroitin sulfate. So you're getting it naturally. And so what happens is when our bodies, you know, consume it and absorb it, then it goes to work instantly. It's 100% absorbable and compatible with the human body. Most other powdered collagens on the market are maybe at most 20% absorbable. They're a large molecule. And not to bore you with too much science, but the molecule size of this, you know, collagen matrix with the hyaluronic acid is the exact molecular size for the human body. And again, this liquid collagen is the only collagen in the world where it comes from that particular source. And so source is really what it's all about. And did you have a question?
Yeah, quick question. The other collagen peptides, do they include the HA and the chondroitin, or is it just collagen?
That's a very, very good question. Thanks for asking it. It's just the collagen because, again, like, let's say you take a cow carcass and you grind it up for its collagen, it doesn't exist naturally with hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate, only in the chicken sternal cartilage. And with like the cow carcass, you're going to get blood vessels and all of that other stuff that you don't want. With the chicken sternal cartilage, it's a very clean collagen source because there's no blood vessels, there's no blood, there's no other source of contamination.
That's amazing. And then let's talk about all the different areas of the body that you're getting that people are seeing benefits in.
So you mentioned hair and beauty, and you know, and so this company also started a line of skincare products. I just want to talk about that for a minute, because most skincare products, if it says it has collagen, again, it's the wrong size molecule. It's too large. It would be like just basically you're putting the product on your face, and even though it may look like it's absorb you in, it's really just like putting paste on your face, because the molecule is too large. It's like parking a cruise ship in your garage. It's just not going to fit. And so, and the same with the drinkable collagen that you drink. So they call it beauty from the inside out, because you drink this collagen, and what it does is the collagen, the hyaluronic acid and chondroitin sulfate, it goes to work and it begins rehydrating the body. HA holds its weight in water 1,000 times. So, you know, that will help you hydrate. It will help your skin plump up. It's been proven through 30 trials to decrease wrinkles, fine lines. And I have, and you've seen them, tons of before and after pictures of people looking younger. I am 57 now. I just turned 57. I often get mistaken for my grandson's mom. I don't mind that. Some of the side benefits, like I said, mostly use it for joint issues, but the side benefit, sure, for me was better skin, looking younger. And so anyway, plumper, healthier skin, more hydrated, less wrinkles, less fine lines, stronger fingernails, long, shiny, you know, the hair follicles, they just really absorb the nutrients. And so my hair became shinier. It used to have kind of that after 50, I got the hormone frizzy hair going on, no longer. You know, because of the collagen, it took care of that issue. I have women I've helped who have had, I can't remember the name of the condition where the hair falls out and they begin to lose their hair.
Alopecia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They have bald spots. I have after pictures of them with the collagen where the bald spots have filled in. I have men with thinning hairlines and pictures where the hairline is filled out. And I've even had one woman who called me up and complained because her hair was going from gray back to its natural color.
Wow. Amazing. I've definitely seen a difference. It was interesting when I went to one of the conferences for the company and saw all of the people that were dancing around because they were feeling so good. Their joints were feeling good. And I live in Southern California near Beverly Hills and Newport Beach, where it's the center of plastic surgery. So I'm used to seeing women my age with a lot of plastic surgery or fillers, and it's a different look than looking naturally young. So that's what I'm used to. And when I went to this conference, I saw all of these people from the Midwest or from areas around the country that they're not into plastic surgery, but they all looked young and it was a natural look. And it was, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so interesting to see because it wasn't what I was used to. There was no plastic surgery, but there were no wrinkles. And so you saw these 50 and 60-year-old women dancing around with their fantastic skin and hair. And it blew my mind. And at the time I was in my 30s and looking forward going, oh, this is how I want to age. I don't want the fillers. I don't want the plastic surgery. So I'm going to continue. So I look like these women. Well, and
we mentioned plastic surgery. There's a very well-known plastic surgeon in your area who has Hollywood celebrities that come to him. He uses this liquid collagen in his practice. He says it helps make his work look better. And yeah, there are a lot of plastic surgeons who recommend this product, along with different, healthcare practitioners and doctors. So that's just kind of I want to say more like superficial benefits: hair, nails, younger looking, more hydrated. For me, I was more, because of my joint issues, more interested in what happens internally. So you want to chat about that for a few minutes? Okay, so, and I loved what you said it did for you after your car accident. I mean, I saw how you looked afterwards, and it was amazing, the transformation you went through in 10 days. And so when you think about our external appearance and what it can do for us on the outside. Think about you're drinking this. So what is it doing for your insides, right? You're getting younger and anti-aging from the inside out. So this is great, like I said, for any areas that have synovial fluid that are abundant in collagen, which include joints, muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, fascia. And fascia covers all of our muscles. It's everywhere in our body. It's our whole connective tissue system. Our eyeballs have a lot of hyaluronic acid. I recently had a condition where the vitreous humor detached from the back of my eye. Fortunately, it was not a retina tear, but I had these black cobwebby things in my right eye. It was kind of like looking through an Etch-a-Sketch. It was horrible, and it was scary. I went to see my eye doctor. She said 80% of the black threads will clear up in about 1 to 2 months, but she goes, 80% of them are going to stay there. So you're going to have these black squiggly lines. And I said, no, thank you. You keep your curse. I'm going to go home and work on this. And so I doubled my collagen intake for a week. And within 1 week, 80% of it cleared up, so much sooner than she said. And within 3 weeks, it was 98% cleared up. Wow. Occasionally, I have a tiny little floater, but no lines, and like I did. And it's interesting because I talked to another woman who had the exact same condition. Isn't it interesting how God brings people into your life, right? Like you said earlier, who need to hear your story.
Yeah.
And so she told me she'd had the same thing happen. 4 years later, still had the dark, squiggly Etch-a-Sketch lines, in her eye. Yeah, so I turned her on to the collagen product just recently, and so I'm really looking forward to hearing about her results. So basically anywhere in your body, which is everywhere, that there are connective tissues, your body can benefit from rebuilding with this collagen.
What about nerve damage? Does it help with any nerve damage?
Well, we don't make medical claims or list certain conditions because we're a nutraceutical and not a pharmaceutical, so we're careful about that. But I will say I know of a football player who had some damage to his spine, and I can't remember exactly, but it involved the nerves, and he was in a lot of discomfort. And yes, after getting on the collagen within a few months, he actually started to feel really good, got his mobility back. And then something interesting happened. He had like a relapse of his condition, and he went to the hospital thinking something was majorly wrong. They couldn't find anything wrong. What it was his body was in healing mode, and it was kind of going through a little healing crisis, and you know all about that. And so that's what was happening. And within a couple of days, it was over. And he now plays football again with the younger kids. He's the coach now. And then we've had famous football players like Willie Harper, who was in the NFL and earned a Super Bowl ring. He's in his 60s now, and he said, he got hit so many times throughout his career. He got to the point where he would get up in the morning, when he was in his 50s. As he was aging, he was no longer playing the game. He was retired. He would wake up in the morning. He was in so much discomfort. He would sit on the edge of his bed for 20 minutes, trying to talk his body into moving, trying to set himself up mentally, because it was devastating for him being a strong, athletic man, I'm going to cry, his whole entire life. And then to sit on the edge of the bed for that long to try to talk yourself into like basically living again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sorry. So anyway, this product changed his life. And he still takes it to this day. He now says he gets up in the morning, he jumps out of bed, he does a little dance because he's so happy.
Well, that was what I noticed at the conference, that everyone was dancing and so happy because they all of a sudden they're pain free, and they were people that had suffered from so much pain. So it was so fun to watch all of these people just live with so much joy because they've overcome some health issue and they're so excited about the product. That's what I also love about the company, is that it's just brought a whole bunch of amazing people together that are there for the right reason. And that's why I've just always stayed faithful to this one product. But I remember asking you a couple of years ago, okay, why can't I just take bone broth? Everyone's talking about bone broth, and you hear about all these different bone broths, and bone broth's fantastic. I am a proponent of drinking it, but why is it not the same as this supplement?
And that's a great question. I love bone broth too. I make an organic bone broth with a bunch of herbs. I love it. I want some now. So it's good. It tastes yummy. And if you want to make it, take it. It's not going to harm you unless the bones aren't organic. But basically, so what happens in bone broth, it's not the collagen, you're boiling the bones of an animal, right? And so the collagen that comes out, if it's not organic, what happens is the chemicals and the toxins in the bones also come out in the broth. So you're detoxifying yourself. Even if the animal is organic, there's still toxins in the bones because of the environment and the lead in the air and all the different chemicals in the air. They're breathing this, they're eating this, and it gets in the bones and the fat, and then that goes into your broth. So most healthcare practitioners I work with that uses collagen no longer recommend bone broth. So that's number one. Number two is that it's not really collagen. It's like a gel-like substance, and when you drink it, it breaks down in your body. Your digestive system breaks it down into amino acids, and amino acids are great, but there's really no more collagen left. And you would think, because of all the hype you read and collagen, and so in bone broth and all the different miraculous things that can supposedly cure, you would think that there would have been some scientific studies done on this showing its efficacy. There was one done, I think, in 1934, and it basically showed that no, it's not an effective way to get your collagen. Again, because any collagen that actually does bypass the digestive process or survive, the molecule is too large to be absorbed because it's not hydrolyzed. You have to, even the powdered products, they all say hydrolyzed collagen because they have to get it down into a smaller weight. And otherwise it's totally ineffective. It's not doing any good in your body. Now, there are other benefits with amino acids. I know bone broth has been used to help heal the gut, but guess what? The liquid collagen does the job 10 times better and faster. And when we tell people, when you take the collagen, to swish it in your mouth, because most of it's going to actually get absorbed by your mucosal membranes in your mouth, and therefore it goes directly to your bloodstream, bypasses the digestive system, and totally.
So you want to swish it around in your mouth for a little bit before you swallow.
Right. Yeah. One of the doctors that helped formulate the product, he says 23 seconds. I say, even if you can do it for a few seconds, you're going to get even more benefit.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the different types of collagen. I know there's type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and all their functions in the body, and how this collagen supplement kind of fits into that matrix.
Yeah, and people say, well, what type of collagen should I take? Even my endocrinologist, not my endocrinologist, one of my other doctors, she said, my doctor, actually her doctor told her to take a collagen supplement. She was so confused when she went to look, because there's so many different types. What do they all do? They all do different things for the body. Most supplements are collagen type 2. And so our supplement is technically collagen type 2. But the cool thing about this product, this matrix, is that once you drink it and absorb it into your body, it actually acts like all collagens. So it's labeled type 2, but once it's ingested, it acts like all collagens. And so you're getting the benefit of what all the different collagens can do. You don't have to go to the store and say, okay, here's type 2, I need a type 1 and a 3. Add 4 types of collagen, and that's all great. But again, too large of a molecule and ineffective for what you need it to do. And so comparing this collagen, the liquid matrix, to any other collagen is like comparing apples to oranges, two basically totally different supplements. And that's why the company I work with has won all of the awards in the bone and joint and anti-aging and even weight loss with the collagen supplement awards, not just in the direct sales industry, but in the entire nutraceutical industry. And we just keep winning award after award after award. So there's a reason why.
So the different types are going, one type's going for your skin and hair and nails, and another type's going for your cartilage. And is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly. So in this, like I said, when you drink it, it turns into all types in your body. And the other cool thing about this, two other things. One is it helps your body make more of its own collagen. So you're not just supplementing, you're helping your body's process make more. That's been scientifically proven with clinical trials. The other thing is, which no other supplement that I know of can do this, is it stops the aging enzyme called hyaluronidase. And hyaluronidase is a natural enzyme that we make in our bodies. It's part of the aging process. It goes down and it breaks down hyaluronic acid in our bodies. And so this product, this collagen matrix, when you drink it, it stops the activity of that enzyme. So not only are you reverse aging, but you're stopping the aging process as well. So I'm not about living forever, and I know you aren't either, but it's about having your best quality of life while we're here.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you again to just really emphasize, I talk a lot about on my website and my show about healing leaky gut, and I have got some supplements that help do so. But can you talk about how collagen actually goes in the gut and is very healing to the gut and the digestive system?
Yes, because again, as we age, the collagen breaks down in our bodies. And so what this does is it goes in, it absorbs into the lining of our gut. It helps rebuild our intestinal health, which is very important. I know of a chiropractor I work with who her son had leaky gut years ago, and before she was introduced to the collagen, and he used bone broth to help heal that. And it took forever and copious amounts of broth every single day. And she said, then when this product came along and she was introduced to it, the dose recommended, the serving recommended on the label, do the same thing in half the time, or a fraction of the time. So yeah, it does help the leaky gut as well, which is something I have suffered with in the past. Yeah. And no longer do.
I know that they recommend taking it twice a day. And can you talk a little bit about the way collagen works and the half-life of it, and why you would need to take it twice a day versus once a day, or how it works in the body when you take it as a supplement?
Yeah, they found through the clinical trials that the best efficacy was twice a day, because collagen does have a half-life. And so if you take it twice a day, you're building up your collagen levels, more effectively. You can just take it once a day, but I have noticed a difference in my own use of the collagen. When I take it twice a day, it's much more effective. I get better results. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I also know that you have a product with collagen that burns fat. So let's talk about that, because I, as many of you know, promote a low carb, more ketogenic diet, not just for weight loss, but for also just overall health, mental clarity, and physical and mental energy. But let's talk about the collagen supplement that is geared towards burning fat and helping with weight management.
Yes, and I totally love your diet advice, and that is really the best. Through my own health challenges, I found that is where I feel and look the best as well. And so I like this collagen weight loss product as well. It's not a thermogenic, so it's not going to jazz you up or anything like that. Simply what it is it has 1 serving of the liquid collagen matrix in it, and then it has clinical trial levels of, or clinical doses of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. And so what this has done, so you can go buy CLA pills out on the market, and they're mostly ineffective because they're not at the dose that needs to be taken. And so this is actually clinical dose CLA in this product. And I have to say it works wonderfully. Whether you're on a keto diet, it works great with that. I have a tablespoon of the vanilla flavor or the chocolate flavor in my keto coffee in the morning. It's super yummy. And so what it does is the CLA portion of it actually targets trunk fat, and that is the visceral fat we get from when we're stressed out. So you see people with a little belly, that's a cortisol belly, usually, if they're not overeating. And so this will help go after that midsection. It targets the midsection. It burns fat. It inhibits future fat storage. And the cool side is it actually has been proven to shrink fat cell size. And I had a trainer years ago tell me that is impossible. It is not possible.
That is so true, because I have told my clients before, if you've been obese, your body's got this propensity to want to go back there because of the amount of fat cells you have and the size of them. So to be able to really shrink them factually is phenomenal. And I don't know of any other way to do it. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, as we are sitting here in quarantine and with all the stress that we've been on under in 2020, I have so many clients that are saying, I am not doing anything different and I've got my pants are tight. What's going on? It's this visceral fat. It's this, and I say it's the stress. Stress increases cortisol, and cortisol increases your blood sugar without putting a morsel of sugar in your body. And and I experienced it too, where I was it was almost this blanket stress, because I really focus on managing my stress and doing a lot of self-care and taking the right supplements, eating right. But there's this global stress from this fear that we're all under. And you have to work harder to manage it and to keep that cortisol level down. So this is phenomenal, because this is giving you another, tool in the toolbox to get to your goal weight or be your best self. And I'm super excited. And the fact that you're describing what the difference is between this CLA versus the ones on the market, because I see those pills out there, and who's to say what's good, what's not good, and what's working. And that's the thing that's so frustrating, is the supplement business there's so much junk out there. And how do people trust what company or what is a good supplement? So I know this company does all their research. They have the clinical studies. They don't put anything aside and just be flippant about anything. Any product you find on their website is phenomenal. So I'm so excited about that. And I take my collagen every single day. Like I was telling you, Carol, I don't do without it. And I feel a difference when I'm with it versus when I'm without it. So,
yeah. And I love what you said. It's like, we are under so much stress now, whether we're in it or not. I try to stay in my own little bubble and not look at the news very often, but I still get stressed out, and all of a sudden I just have to go, okay, stop and breathe, because this is not good for your body. It's not good for your weight. And just real quickly, after my husband died 5 years ago, I was at my heaviest weight ever, because he'd been sick for a few years. It was super stressful. So not only did I have the cortisol belly and the visceral fat, but I was emotionally eating too, like for stress relief. And because I don't have a functioning thyroid anymore, it's no longer there. I'm on thyroid replacement hormone, but it's really hard for me to lose weight, super easy to gain. And after he passed, I said, okay, I kicked the boys out of the house. No more Orville Redenbacher, no more Tom and Jerry. They all got kicked to the curb. I really started eating healthy, working out. I would be lucky if I could lose 1 pound in a month.
Mm.
And I had tried so many different weight loss systems and products. This was introduced, launched with our company. I didn't think it would work for me because nothing had. Within a week, I lost 6 pounds and 11 inches.
Wow.
So over a 6 months period of time, I lost 30 pounds. And I still have some more I want to lose. And, it's just a blessing, right? Because I feel like I have my life back again.
That's
And it's been wonderful. And I have to say one more thing. I was on a 10-day or 7-day cruise with my family last April, a year ago, not this April, unfortunately. Everybody in my party, because we just let go and ate way too much food and, we overindulged. Everybody in my party gained 10 pounds average from the cruise. I brought my CLA collagen with me. I did not gain a pound.
Oh my gosh, that says a lot. Wow. That's fantastic. Well, we are almost out of time, but before we go, I want to ask you, with all that you do, what are the top 3 things that you absolutely do every single day to make sure you are taking care of your body, mind, and your spirit?
Wow, that's a great question. And I love that you didn't ask me this ahead of time. So this is like authentically my life. So number 1, I take my supplements. I have some thyroid adrenal issues. I take supplements for that. I take my collagen. I take my collagen weight loss CLA product. I do that every single day religiously. I also try to move my body for an hour a day, half hour to an hour a day. I don't like the word exercise. I don't like that word. So I use body movement, whether it's going for a walk, doing some yoga. I have a rowing machine, something to stress relief. And while I'm doing that, there is no texting, no messaging, no phoning allowed. It's so important, I think, to do a digital detox at some point during your day so you can have some peace and quiet. The other thing I do is I just like to stop and I meditate, I pray, or I'll sit out on my deck with my eyes open and just look at the view and try not to think of anything, but just exist. It's so important to unplug. So I think I do other things as well, but those are the basics: my supplements, my body movement, eat healthy, of course, follow Sarah's food plan. You are amazing in how many people you've helped feel and look better. And I just want to thank you, Sarah, from the bottom of my heart for being in my life. I could talk to you for hours. And thank you so much for being who you are in this world. I really appreciate you, and I know your listeners do too.
Carol, you're going to make me cry. And that's why I love you so much. Honestly, I could go years without talking to you and then feel like it was just yesterday, because your soul and your heart are so golden. And that's why I'm so excited to share you with everybody. I just got the chills. So, you and this product have changed my life. You really have. There's very few people in this world that when you meet them, and you're going to be lifers. And that's exactly how I felt when I was first introduced to you. So I'm so appreciative of you as well. And everyone, I'm so glad that I got to share you with everybody today. And for all of you, I wish we could continue, but for everybody, thank you for joining us. And you can find the collagen supplement and the weight loss collagen supplement on my website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Thanks for joining us today. And if you have any health issues, you can contact me directly at sarah@acceleratedhealthproducts.com. I'm happy to put together a protocol for you. I know sometimes it's hard to know where to start. And for those of you listening to just the audio, you can now find this video version on my YouTube channel and Facebook, the Accelerated Health Radio on the YouTube and Accelerated Health Products Facebook. And you can join us every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time live. You can also follow me on Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and find this episode on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, Pandora, or whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. I also do now Accelerated Health Bites, where I do short informational videos about health topics and solutions that you ask me about. So if you have a condition or a topic you want me to address, let me know. And if you liked what you heard today, please hit the subscribe button and share this with a few of your friends who may need my help. As you share my channel, it helps me help more people like you and bring more cutting edge guests like Carol to my show. You can use coupon W4HC20 for 20% off site-wide at Accelerated Health Products. And thanks for joining us today on Accelerated Health Radio. Have a great week.
Are you wanting to optimize your physical, mental, and emotional health? Visit www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Accelerated Health Products to detox, reset, and rebuild your immune system naturally, and to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit with cutting-edge supplements and solutions. Get Sarah Banta's personal advice on a protocol just right for you. That's www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com.